Hey guys, Grant here, and today I'm going to be doing some free training on the 4 things that it takes to build a successful online course, as promised in my last post. And if you didn't see my last post, then the 4 things are up here on the screen. And I'll just do a quick overview of them. So number 1 is the niche. You need to have a really clear picture of who your niche is, and that's basically the audience. All right, so number 2 is the offer, and you need to have an offer that solves a real problem. It can't just be that would be nice sort of thing for the audience to say. It needs to be something that's really keeping them up at night, and the offer presents the solution to that problem. Number 3, delivery. So this is essentially a way to deliver your solution to your clients. So you need some sort of method of delivery for your course. Number 4, and possibly one of the most important, is sales. But not only sales, you need a repeatable process to get people into your course and actually getting enrollments constantly. So that is one of the biggest ones. Some people have all 3 done and think, yep, I'm golden. My course is done. I'm ready to go. Why aren't people enrolling? Well, it's because you don't have a repeatable process to generate sales. Okay, so we're going to deep dive into all 4 of these and we'll get started. So number 1, first and foremost, you actually need to like what you're doing and whatever you're building the course about. And the reason I say this is because there are people out there that are building courses as well that love what they're talking about. So that's going to be the difference. If you're in the same niche as somebody like that, they love it, you don't. They're going to be putting in 16, 18 hours, who knows how long, on their course and talking about it and helping their students. Whereas you will be doing the bare minimum to try and get by and make a few bucks. So that's the difference. If you genuinely like to do what you do in your course and talk about, then you're going to have a lot more success. So from the very beginning, from choosing your niche, start with something that you actually like. So you need to be very specific. So about the people that you're trying to target. You really should be able to write down on a notepad who they are. So, my ideal client works in this industry. They live in this area. This is their income. This is their family situation. They've got 2.5 kids, blah, blah, blah. You should be able to map out exactly who that person is. Researching the niche you've chosen is incredibly important. All right. It's all good to just say, oh, look, I'm awesome at building origami boulders and everyone's going to want to learn about it. But that may not be the case. Not everyone likes to build origami boulders, so you do need to research the niche. Even if you absolutely love it, like I've discussed, there still needs to be some research to see if it's going to be viable. Okay, so other places that you can look to research your niche are Facebook groups. They're awesome for researching a niche because you can go inside, look at all the content that's getting posted, comments, debates, complaints. All of that is really good to find in Facebook groups to give you a better idea of what the niche is thinking. Podcasts, or even just simply ask. Just reach out to these people in this niche. If you can find the people, you can reach out to them directly and just simply ask them. What are their biggest struggles? What are they dealing with on a day-to-day basis that bugs them the most? These are the things that people are happy to talk about themselves. You'll be surprised at how many people will reply back. So you want to choose a niche only after the research is done. Okay? Now, like I said, this is important. You might be awesome at building origami boulders, all right? But you need to know what everyone else in the niche thinks. You're not everybody else, okay? Even if you think that you have a very good idea of what the niche demographic is, and you think, oh, I'm the perfect fit for that demographic, this is a great idea. You're not everybody in that demographic or in that niche, so you need to go and ask everyone. Right, so why do we even choose a niche? Okay, so that's probably one of the biggest questions I get every single time. Why do we even bother choosing a niche? Well, it's crucial that we choose a niche because then we're able to position ourselves as an expert in whatever field that we've chosen to go into. All right, and the reason we do that is trust, because people will trust an expert. They believe because there's a much better chance that they are going to be able to help them get to that end result. So it's actually the result that they want. The quickest way to you can get them from point A to point B is really what they want. They don't care about how many modules you've got in your course, how many hours, all this PDF downloads, all of this stuff doesn't make any difference whatsoever. If you do not have a good way and a fast way to get them from point A to B, they're not going to be interested. The only thing they care about is the result. So number 2, we're going to jump into the offer. So the problem that you need to solve is, like I said, it needs to be painful. It can't just be, oh, that'd be nice, I might do that. No, it needs to be something that they are really struggling with. It's keeping them up at night and they don't have any idea how to fix it. And you are going to present your offer as the solution. So what you're going to do is you can focus on their pain points or their wants. So it might not necessarily be a pain point. It might be a very, very, very strong want. Okay. So these are the few things that you need to focus on when you're actually building out your offer. Now, how do we do that? We go through what? What is it that they want to achieve? All right. Think about it. What is it that they want to achieve? Go in, do your research, and in your research phase, you're going to find out a lot of these points. So why haven't they been able to achieve it by themselves already? That's a good one too. So that'll give you an idea of how to get them to the next point. So if they've looked at all these other solutions that haven't been able to get them there to that point, and that's why they haven't been able to get to that point, then you need to map out what those other solutions are lacking and start focusing on putting that solution in place. So when do they need to have this problem solved? Usually it should be urgent, okay? It can't just be, maybe I'll get around to that next year. That'll be good. No, it needs to be something that's fairly urgent so that they pull the trigger, right? Okay, so how can you help them achieve this result? If you do not have the skills already in place, then there are ways to help them. For the people that have the skills in place to help these students and these clients get their result, that's great. You're further ahead in the process when it comes to building out the course, but you don't really necessarily need the problem. Sorry, my apologies. You don't need the knowledge to this problem straight away. You can become what's called an expert reporter. So what's an expert reporter? Well, it's building a body of work around what the experts in your niche actually have to say about their experiences. Okay, so you don't need to personally have been through all of this and fixed these problems yourself. You can go to experts and look at what they've done. So a really good example of this is you could go and speak to 5 influential people within the fitness niche and that are really well respected. So the way this works, you'll go and interview them and basically extract as much information out of them as you can, whether that be in an interview or you've just collated their what they've talked about to you in spreadsheets or video format, or you've just written it all down, recorded it, and presenting it in a course format. You can do it that way. But basically what you do, you'll create your course out of all of that content, no matter how it's formatted, and that way you'll be able to have course content to provide to the end user, to the client. So that's if you do not have the skills already. So that's where the value comes in. Obviously, if you've created this body of work around information from such highly regarded people, it's going to in turn start to give you credibility as well. So because you've got access to all of these multiple experts and you've got a body of work of what they've said about their experiences, people are going to have, they're going to have interest in that. Not necessarily because you're presenting it, it's just because you have an affiliation with them now that you've collated this body of work from them. So that's where the value comes. So number 3, really there are 3 main formats that you can deliver your content. So number 1 is one-on-one coaching, and that can be fairly labor intensive, but it is really quick. To set up and very, very cheap. Group coaching is the second one, so that's labor intensive, but the benefit of that is you can reach more clients at one time. You don't have to be scheduling in times to have one person, then the next person, then the next person, whereas group coaching, you can get quite a few people on all at once and deliver the content that way. And like I said, it's labor intensive, but you can reach a lot more people. This is also really cheap to set up, and I'd argue that it's even possibly free, because this type of coaching can even be done through things like Facebook Live. Now, number 3 is the online course. So that's basically the course portal. So when you're setting up a course portal, it's a bit more expensive, a bit more labor intensive, but later on it becomes less labor intensive in the long run. So the initial setup is a bit more expensive, takes a bit more time, but in the long run it takes a lot less time. So let's look at each of these in a little bit more detail. So one-on-one and group coaching, it's really the easiest and the cheapest way to set up to begin with. With a coaching structure, and it's actually the way that I recommend anybody starting any sort of course does. I recommend you get proof of concept by getting people to pay you money to provide them with a solution. So that's basically what an online course is. However, in this part of the business, you will be, when you're very first starting out, this will be the solution that you're going to be delivering to them. Okay? So the way a coaching structure works is by setting up one-on-one or group calls, possibly in-person sessions with your students as well, and then you'll go through the course content with them. And there's really 4 main benefits to the coaching structure. So like I've said, there's very little tech. So this is such an effective model of delivery because there's so few moving parts. And the training sessions, they can be done in person, can be arranged with a simple email, or even online with Zoom, Google Hangouts, like I said, even Facebook Live. So it's possible to get away with this for free, basically, the setup. Like I said, low cost. You can do it even for free. There's so few moving parts. And the training, it doesn't cost anything to be delivered on these formats. All right. The benefit of it too is you get to do bulk Q&A all at once. So the beauty of running a group mastermind of trainings is it enables multiple questions to be asked for all of the students at the same time. So you've got a lot of people in one meeting, whether that be in the same room or one call. Everyone can just sort of shout out the questions, and it takes only a few minutes to get a lot of questions done, dusted, and answered. So this will reduce the amount of support emails and questions and back and forth from emails and things like that. So the benefit of online calls and in-person meetings is just that. You can do a lot of back and forth really quick. And like I said before, it's really quick to set up. So you can see from the previous slides that the methods discussed, basically something that everyone would be familiar with, like Facebook Hangouts, Google Hangouts, Facebook Hangouts, Google Hangouts, or even Facebook Live. Everyone's sort of seen that feature and they know how it works. So it's really quick and easy to set that up. Online course portal is the next one. So you can basically have an online course portal with the video lessons uploaded to it with your students, and they can go in there and learn at any time, basically 24/7 wherever they are. So that's the beauty of the online course portal, and that's obviously the end goal for most people when they're doing a course. So 4 main benefits for this: 24/7 content, like I said. The beauty of running the pre-recorded online trainings is that it enables students to basically access that training from wherever they are at any time, whenever they have the need or the time to go in and access that information. It's there for them to actually do it. And next one is less labor. Like I said in the beginning, it does take a little bit more to set it up, and building the course content itself and building the course portal does take a little bit more time, but it drastically reduces the labor required in the end game. Okay, and it enables scalability, which is another super important part of an online course. Having the scalability, the portal actually enables that. Engagement. Now, I find that the training materials, when they're available like 24/7 on the portal to all of the students, it really does give a higher engagement rate of the course as a whole. That's what I've found, and I believe this is due to the students being able to basically get in there, look at the course materials and access them whenever they want to, whenever it's convenient for them. So that's why I found the engagement to be a little bit more higher when it's available to them at any time. Whereas when you're setting up coaching goals and times, not everyone's available at those times that you set up, and it can sort of get a bit iffy getting everyone together at the right time. Best thing about online course portal is that it's automated. So although it requires a lot more work to get started, and the vast majority of the processes really are automated once it's done. So it's super doable. Once you've learnt how to build the course portal and build the content and all of those sorts of things, and they start coming together, it does reduce the amount of work that you need to put in, and it's mostly automated. So those are the four main benefits of the course portal. So the last one is sales. So like I said, we need a repeatable process to get clients into our course, into our program. So the two main ways that we can acquire clients and students are paid and unpaid. Now, when you're first starting out, unpaid is usually all you can do. It's usually what most people can afford to do. So this is really referred to as direct or organic marketing. Paid is obviously using paid ads to acquire clients. So using Facebook, Google, or similar. So either way, you need a repeatable process to acquire clients, whether it's paid or unpaid. So let's look at each of these in a little bit more detail, and I'll actually show you my course Facebook ad account, because I use that far more than Google, to give you some real life examples. So first, we're going to look at organic marketing, direct and organic. So what is it? So direct and organic marketing really is basically just any marketing that's done without paid methods, and it's directly to your target market, your target audience. So I recommend when you're first beginning that you only use direct and organic marketing, because you really need to prove your niche to begin with. You need to prove your niche and your offer to make sure that you're not barking up the wrong tree, so to speak, and make sure that you're going to convert. So you're going to get some conversions before you start paying for ads. So how I use these are the four main platforms that I use, by the way, and this is the four and how I use them. So this is not a method to grow a huge social media following, by the way. The whole idea of this really is to simply find, connect, and convert clients. Okay, so with this method, we're not trying to be social media famous. Now, there is merit in doing a lot of social media posts and getting out there, but what we want to focus on is getting our first few clients and getting them results. That's really all we're after. So it goes like this. The repeatable organic acquisition process looks a bit like this. So number one, we're going to add value. And this is basically adding value to the communities mentioned. So that's, like I said, Facebook. We use LinkedIn, a little bit of Instagram, and email as well. So adding value to these communities is a good way to create goodwill. Number two, networking. So once you're in these communities, you need to develop relationships with these potential clients. So that basically can be liking posts, commenting on things, interacting with people, basically just trying to develop some kind of a relationship with these people over time, so that if you do contact them down the road, you're not a completely new face to them. They have some idea of who you are. Okay, so contact. This is where we will contact potential clients through these networks. Like I said from the previous step, you'll have developed some kind of a relationship over time, and you will then be able to reach out to them and make contact. And you won't be a completely new face. You're not just some random trying to contact them. Okay, so this number four is solution, and this is where you will position your business as the solution to their pain points. And you should have a really good idea of what their pain points and wants are. If you've interacted with them like I said, in step two, you've networked with them, you should have a very good idea of what their pain points and wants are already. Number five is the close. So obviously, if we're going to be doing coaching in the first place, we might not have a online portal, then we're going to be doing a coaching session. So we will be doing a sales call to convert them into a paying client, because you don't have a website yet, you don't have any landing pages or lead magnets or anything like that to send them. You don't need them. We're going to just simply be getting on a call and converting them for that way. So that is the organic process of acquiring clients. So the paid acquisition process, like I suggested before, is using either Facebook or Google or similar. But I'm actually going to jump into my Facebook ad account and show you some real life versions of how I acquire clients and what's possible. So to start with, we use obviously a Facebook ad to get awareness. Basically goes out into the newsfeed or wherever else you've selected it to go and gets in front of people, gets impressions. And it goes to a landing page, which then goes to a mini course registration. So this is when you've got a course portal set up. This is the process for that. So mini course, and that then converts through to the full course. And I'm going to show you the end profit as well. So to get someone from a complete stranger to actually clicking on our ad, I'm going to go into our Facebook ad account and I'm going to show you how much it costs me to do that. So this is a screenshot of that, and you can see here on the right hand side our cost per click to get people into this ad, to actually click on the ad, is $2.25. All right, so I'm going to put the $2.25 in there, cost per click, so CPC. Now I want to see how that ad converts when it's going through to the landing page. Okay, so when we go back to the ads manager here, we want to go and look at our link clicks. So we've got 3,174 link clicks, and we need to divide that by how many results we got. So we've got 1,264 mini course registrations. So if you divide those two, it gives you about 40%. So we put the 40% in here for the landing page. Now, how much did it cost us to get those mini registrations on that landing page? Go back to our ads manager, and you can see we've got a cost per result of $5.65. So in the mini course registration box, we put $5.65 per registration. Okay, so now we need to know basically how much does it cost to get a mini course registration to convert to that full course. So what we need to do now is we go into the ads manager one more time. We look at how much was spent. Okay, so we need to divide that by how many sales we made. So if we go into the Stripe account, I've got a screenshot here and there's 48 customers. So we divide that 7,000 by 48 and that gives us $148 per new customer. So from Facebook ad right through to the full course, it's cost me $148 to get somebody into the full course. All right. So the profit we work out by looking at how much it was per average customer. So it's about $1,500, and we take that off, the $148 off that. So the end profit is actually $1,362, and that's a 10x return on ad spend. Now that's pretty phenomenal. Essentially, really, that's like having a vending machine where you can put $1 in every single time and get $10 out. Now, if you ask me, that's pretty phenomenal. You know, having a machine where you can put $10 in, if you can put $1 in and get $10 out, that is amazing. All right. So that's the end of the training. I basically just wanted to run you through those 4 things of the process of having a successful online course. Okay, so it's taking you through those 4 steps. So niche selection, the offer, the delivery, and obviously the repeatable process of getting those sales day in, day out, so that your course remains successful and you can continue to grow. All right, so if you've got any questions at all, don't be afraid to ask me a question. If you've liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well. I really appreciate that. And if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll get back to you with an answer as soon as I can. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video. If you do want to learn how to build your own successful online course, I actually have a mini course already. So if you want to have a look at that, you can head over to coursestarter.co and have a look at that. All right, cheers, guys.